Have you ever had someone tell you they're fine, but their face, voice, or body language told you the exact opposite? This is because of nonverbal communication. My name is Jack Long, and today I'm here to talk about my Chapter 5 takeaway for my human communications class. In human communication, we use nonverbal communication in an intentional way and also unintentional ways. Nonverbal communication is often more believable than verbal communication. The functions of nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is used in order to substitute for certain words in our speaking. Those certain words can be to convey an action or change the mood in which we are speaking with. Nonverbal communication contradicts our spoken words. Say we decide to say a certain word, but we say it a little bit more sarcastically, becomes a little bit less important to our audience. Nonverbal communication is also used to regulate our conversations and make them flow, and has a lot to do with how the conversation actually goes. Some examples of nonverbal communication are repeating your own sentences or repeating what you're saying, certain compliments or phrases that you decide to use, and also the emphasis in which you use when you are speaking. Nonverbal communication also has many codes. Some of the codes of nonverbal communication are your body movements, so that could be you fidgeting, meaning you're nervous, or it could just be using your hands in your speaking rather than just using your words. It can help the audience understand what you're speaking in a more visual perspective. I know most people in the world, I would say, are more visual learners than they are listening learners, and overall it helps you understand the topic a lot better. Another type of nonverbal code is going to be your facial expressions, whether that's a simple smile because you are happy about the topic you're talking about, or a simple frown because you're not happy about the topic you're talking about. Another nonverbal cue is also your eye contact, whether that is with the audience or who you're speaking to. Nonverbal communication is also your vocal levels. Right now I can speak very soft, and then I can bring it up to a higher tone. That would be considered nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication codes are broken into 3 different types of groups. There are the haptics, the proxemics, and the chronemics. And some of the influences nonverbal communication has on our life and also our everyday speaking is going to be culture, technology, the situation, and the context. So when it comes to culture, again, in previous lessons we've learned about how different cultures find certain things acceptable to say and other cultures might find them unacceptable. Therefore, we have to make sure to not use those words if we're speaking to a certain audience. Another thing that influences is going to be communication, whether that be, say you decide to use sound effects in your speech, or you just have a certain type of way how you do your speech and it makes your audience interact a little bit better. That would be nonverbal communication. It also depends on the situation that you're speaking in, whether it be a professional setting or a little bit less professional setting. And it can also mean the context of your words, whether that is your connotation of your own words or the point that you are trying to cross. Some examples of nonverbal communication would include nurses' uniforms. It shows how they are professional and they're good at what they do. It would also be the Inside Out movie because it's more about actions than the actual words you speak. And in everyday texting, somehow we decide to use nonverbal communication as we use certain word choice to convey our feelings and emotions. To conclude today's chapter review, I would like to say that nonverbal communication is universal, it is powerful, and it is trusted more than your own words. It is also influenced by our culture, technology, and the situation in which you're speaking. Now, next time you are giving a speech or you're simply talking to someone, I want you to try to use nonverbal codes, and I want you to actually do what you're saying rather than say what you're doing. Thank you all so much for your time.